here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making this cute sunflower and you can attach it to whatever you like. So I have made this to look like a sunflower by of course using those types of colors, but you can make this in any color if you wanted to. But for the sunflower I used gingerbread, dandelion or buttercup, and this one is spring meadow or meadow. I also used a 3.5 because it's DK yarn and I always use 3.5 for that yarn. And you will also of course need scissors and a darning needle, although we won't be sewing in many ends. So you might be wondering how I'm going to attach this to something. So a couple of weeks ago I made this handbag, and this you can attach to the handle. So you make a loop and you put the flower through and it's attached. There we go. So let's get started with making our sunflower. We're going to make quite a wide center, so that means we'll have to do 2 rounds of double crochets, and we're going to get started with a magic circle. So using your gingerbread, hold on to your yarn like this, making a cross over your fingers, go under the front strand there, bring back the back strand to the front, twist it, go back to that back strand and do a chain. Then release your fingers and you've got your magic circle. Then you do another chain. This is your first double crochet. And now you're going to start working over the bit with the 2 strands. So keeping your circle tensioned, you're going to start making double crochets. So yarn over, into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we need 13 V's on the outside of our work. So that means we're going to do 12 double crochets because we have done that chain 2, which counts as a double crochet. And we need to do a slip stitch which will lie over the top of that chain 2, making our 13th stitch. There we go. Now I'm going to hold all my stitches between my fingers like this. Here I'm going to pull the end of my magic circle and it will all close up a bit. There we go, so it doesn't go crinkly. And now we are counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Under the 12th one, you're going to go under that one and you do a slip stitch. There we go. This slip stitch is now the 13th. And we can close our magic circle a bit more by pulling the end. There we go. So now we're going to do a second round. Chain 2. This chain 2 counts as the last stitch of my round, so I'm going to disregard it for now. And in every stitch, in every V, we are going to place 2 double crochets. So the first one will be placed under these 2 here. And you're going to do 2 in each stitch. So we will be doubling our stitch count. So we've gone from 13 and now in this row we will be creating 26 double crochets. Well, in fact 25, because the 26th one is that chain 2, which we will finish off with a slip stitch when we close the round. I will see you at the end of the round. So I've placed 2 double crochets in each stitch. This is my last one here. The chain 2 is already coming out of that. That's my second double crochet then, and this one is my first one. So now I'm skipping these 2, going under that V here and doing a slip stitch, closing the round. So this is my center of my flower. Let's cut off the yarn. Voila. And of course, yeah, you're going to have to make 2 of those because we need a front and a back to our sunflower. We are going to crochet them together by making the petals. So that's quite genius because of course we're not going to be needing to do anything else. In a moment, when we do another round, our sunflower will be finished. Now I'm not going to be putting any ends in because I want them to serve as a little bit of stuffing. There we go. Okay, so that's another little trick so we don't have to sew in the ends. Now we are going to get started by taking both our centers, and at the moment I'm just going to let those ends hang out because that's a bit easier. I'm just going to tally up my stitches like so, and I'm going to go into a V here, into a V on the other side. Let's pick up both the strands. There we go. So make sure you have the good sides on the outside, of course, because this is the outside already. And now we are going to pull back the yarn and we do a little slip stitch. There we go. This end will also be pulled back into our work, and you'll just have to do that quickly by pulling it back through into the middle there. Voila, there we go. Okay, so that's going to be sewn in by hiding it inside as well. Okay, so now we are going to do 2 chains, 1, 2, and a double crochet, so in that same stitch. Okay, then we do a picot, so that's 1, 2 and 3 chains. You go back to the first chain, you go into it and you pull up a loop and you pull it through the loop on your hook like so, and then you do another 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So go and find that same stitch that you've been using and place another 2 double crochets in there. Voila. Now we're going to skip 1 stitch, so skip it on this side, but of course also on the other side. Then into the next stitch and into the next stitch on the other disc as well, you're going to do a slip stitch. There we go. And now you're going to do the same thing. Chain 2, double crochet in the same stitch, picot 1, 2, 3, into the third, and you pull it through. There we go. 2 double crochets. And these are the little sunflower petals that we are creating. Skip 1 here, so I'll go under that one. And then I always go to the back really well, skip 1, go and check which one you're going to be using. Okay, it doesn't take long, but just so that it all tallies up nicely. Okay, and this is how you're going to continue. You're going to be making 13 petals because of course we are skipping a stitch each time, so we're only going to be making 13 petals. So I will see you when you have made your 13 petals. There we go. This one is used, that one there. Yeah, voila. And I'm ready for my next petal. And of course, while we're doing this, we are crocheting the 2 centers together. When you get about here, make sure all your ends are stuffed in nicely. If you want it a little bit more bulky, then put a little bit more yarn in, but I think this is just enough to give it a little bit of, sort of a 3-dimensional feel. So I will see you at the end of the round. So I've made it all the way around. I managed to put my ends in really nicely, so it's a little bit puffy, that's fine. Now I have one stitch left, of course, and then here is the next location where we started. So I'm just going to go in there and do a little slip stitch to finish my round. So once again, I'm going to be cutting off my yarn. And if we are now very careful, we could possibly just go into the center, come up there and pull in our end there. So I'm going to do the same thing again from another location, so more yarn goes in. Oh yeah, so it's kind of come out here, that's okay. Now I'm going to go in here and then pull it back in. There we go. And the more I do this, the more it will disappear. I might have to cut it off at one point, but it's going well. Voila, there we go. Disappeared completely. There we go. So that is our finished sunflower. We're going to do a slip knot. We're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And then in the second chain from my hook, so not this one but this one, I'm going to go in there, do a single crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to do a double crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to place a treble crochet. In the next stitch I'm going to place a treble crochet. Then in the next stitch I'm going to place a double crochet. Then I'm going to do a half double crochet. And then in the last stitch here we're going to do a single crochet. Then we also do a slip stitch into there, just so that we bring it down to make it pointy. Then we turn our work and we're going to get started by doing a single crochet into that chain here, the leftover from our chain, but we have turned and somehow my end always lies there. So let's try and take that with us, because then we don't have to sew it in. Remember, we're on a mission here. So making sure you've got your end laying along the chain there, go in to the first stitch and we are going to do a single crochet. There we go. So we have now turned, we've made it a little bit pointy at the end there, that's fine. Now we're going to go to the next stitch and we're going to do a half double crochet in there and trying to take along the end. Next stitch for a double crochet. And then the next stitch for a treble crochet. So we are placing the same stitch on the same location as we did before. Another treble crochet there, so we've got 2 in a row here. Then here we have the location for a double crochet, a half double crochet, and here for a single crochet. I have managed to take along the end, so that's a good news. And then here, this loop here, that's where I'm going to go under and I'm going to do a slip stitch, and that will have made sort of the pointy end of our leaf. Now we're going to turn again, so we are looking at our leaf like this. So then I'm going to do a chain 1 and a slip stitch in the same stitch. Chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch. chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, and this way we're making a little edge that it looks a little bit spiky, like sunflower leaves do look. So chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, and this is how you're going to make your way all the way to the other point here. There we go, and a slip stitch. Voila, look at that, we've got a lovely little edge on our leaf. Then of course we're going to do the same thing, going back, chain 1 first, and a slip stitch under the next V, chain 1, slip stitch, there we go. So I will see you when I've gone all the way around. So I have made it all the way around my leaf. I'm back at the beginning there, at the very end of my leaf. And now I'm going to make a chain of 50 chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 50. So at the back of my sunflower, I'm just going to go around a stitch here, bring back the yarn and just attach it like that. There we go. Okay, so really we have sewn in this end, so I can just cut this one off. Here I'm going to cut this one off, and actually thinking about it, let's pull this nice and tight. I'm going to just use my hook, look at that, and pull it in, so I've got a little bit more stuffing. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you will like my flower and make it. Don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to show you more of my shenanigans of making things in crochet. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!